All right, let's dive into an absolutely incredible story of obsession, innovation, and honestly, pure grit. It's about how one of the simplest foods you can imagine was turned into a massive global business empire.
Okay, let's start with a number. 300 million new Taiwan dollars. Now, to put that in perspective for you, that's roughly 10 million US dollars. And get this, that's not a one-time thing. That's annual revenue.
So what do you think is pulling in that kind of cash every single year? You're probably thinking, okay, a tech startup, right? Or maybe a luxury brand, some kind of crazy new disruptive tech. Well, you'd be wrong. Not even close.
That's right, rice balls. Seriously? And this whole amazing success story, it's all thanks to one man, Zheng-long, who took a simple street food and built an absolute empire.
So how on earth did he pull it off? Well, here's how we're going to break down his journey. We'll start with the family stall, dive into his crazy obsession with rice, check out his big idea, see how he recovered from a total disaster, and then look at his global vision. Let's do it.
All right, so every huge story has a beginning, right? And this one starts in a pretty humble place, a small family food stall.
So when Zheng-long got out of the military, he wasn't thinking about building some global empire. Not at all. He didn't have any money for a startup, so he just took over the family business that his parents were about to close down. It was really just a way to make a living.
And what's kind of funny is his attitude at the beginning. He basically said cooking wasn't his job, that he wasn't willing to do it. He saw himself as the boss, the manager. He thought the actual kitchen work was beneath him. Oh, but that was all about to change, big time.
And then, bam, crisis hits. The head cook at the stall, an old veteran, he unexpectedly passes away. This was the guy who cooked the rice, the absolute core of the business. Suddenly, Yu's back was against the wall, and he learned a massive lesson right then and there. If you're going to run a business, you have to master the most important part of it yourself.
So this moment, it wasn't just about learning to cook out of necessity. It lit a fire under him. It sparked a total obsession. He realized, okay, I don't just need to know how to cook rice. I need to be the best. Think about this, 2.5 years. That is how long he dedicated to one single thing, learning how to cook the perfect rice. He wasn't focused on marketing or expansion or anything else, just the rice.
And the number of batches he went through? Over 7,000. I mean, can you imagine day in, day out just cooking rice? He was so exhausted, he'd literally fall asleep and wake up to the smell of a giant burnt mess that he'd have to just toss out. The dedication is just unreal.
It gets even crazier. His commute home was about 40 minutes, so to save time, he just slept in his car. And we're not talking a full night's sleep. We're talking 2 hours a night often. He'd be up at 3:30 in the morning to get the first batches ready for 5 a.m. deliveries. This wasn't a job anymore. It was his entire life. What he basically did was create his own insane, super fast learning program. See, by cooking 8 batches a day instead of 1 like a normal cook, he crammed 8 years of experience into just 1 year. It's this level of obsession that earned him the nickname Dr. Rice from Forbes. How cool is that?
Okay, so he's completely mastered the product. He's Dr. Rice. But, being the best cook in the world doesn't automatically build you a $10 million a year empire. He needed a game-changing idea. And here it is. This is the big shift. In the old way, the chef decides what's on the menu, and you eat what you're given, right? Well, Yoon just flipped that whole idea on its head. He was like, wait a minute, why can't I get exactly what I want? So he put the customer in complete control. He laid out over 90 ingredients and let people build their own perfect, personalized rice ball. And this is his core philosophy. He said, what you choose to eat might seem crazy to someone else, but to you, it could be the most delicious thing in the world. He got it. Perfection is totally personal. He wasn't selling his idea of a great rice ball. He was selling your idea of a great rice ball. And, as you can imagine, people absolutely loved it.
So things are going great. The business is booming. He's expanding. Everything is on the up and up. And then, just when it seemed like nothing could go wrong, disaster struck.
A massive fire. It just completely destroyed his factory and his warehouse. Everything. Everything he had physically built was just gone, in a flash. I mean, the financial hit was obviously enormous. The whole factory, gone. All of his custom-designed machinery that took him a year to create, gone. But the thing that hurt the most, that was personal. He had this collection of over 1,500 different kinds of rice from all over the world.
It took him 15 years to build it, and it was all just turned to ash.
That collection was his life's work. It was his lab, his whole inspiration. And like he said, you can't buy that back with money. A factory you can rebuild, but that collection, that was 15 years of his life, his passion. It was priceless.
Now, for most people, that would be it. Game over. But not for Yu Zheng-long. For him, it was just the next obstacle. And this next part of the story is all about unbelievable, pure resilience.
So what does he do? He spends the next 12 years traveling the globe all over again. He's in these remote rice markets from Shanghai to Thailand, literally rebuilding that collection one grain at a time. And here's the kicker. While he's doing this, he's not just recovering, he's expanding. The business grows to over 250 stores around the world. We're talking Asia, Europe, even Norway.
And you think he'd slow down? No way. He's still going. Right now, he's already looking 5 years ahead. He's deep into research, creating special types of rice for different health needs. He's convinced that what's good for one person might not be for another. The innovation, the obsession, it never stopped.
So, when you look at the story of Dr. Rice, it's just this incredible lesson, isn't it? That you can find greatness in the most unexpected places. He took something as simple as a rice ball and made it extraordinary, all through pure obsession and a simple idea: listen to your customer. It really makes you think, right? What everyday idea in your life is just sitting there waiting for someone to revolutionize it?